sound good? Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go.
Yep.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Run the Tape. 3 dudes, 1 game, and all the tape. I'm your boy Liam.
It's your boy Kai.
And Griff.
And we are back 2 games into the NBA playoffs. We got the new setup. This is our 24th episode, our Kobe episode. Had to put up the Kobe jersey in the background.
Mamba episode.
Yes, sir.
Mamba episode, Mamba mentality. Let's get right into it. So the Orlando Pistons game just wrapped up. Pistons take it 98-83, tying the series up 1-1. What are your reactions to the result? What are your reactions to the game?
Just Paolo needs to just be way more aggressive, and he needs to just shoot better. I mean, just across the board, Orlando just completely failed on the offensive side. Scoring 83 points in the playoffs is unacceptable. I know you guys have been struggling these past just throughout the entire season with just scoring, but 17 from Paolo, 41% from the field. Franz only putting up 12 points, 36% from the field. Like, this is a major problem. Desmond Bane even had a bad night, shooting 18% from the field. Like, this is unacceptable. This is the playoffs. You guys need to show up, especially after that great Game 1 game. Like, now at least you're going back to Orlando now, tied up, but still unacceptable Game 2.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I think Orlando played it really well game 1. Matched up with them physically.
That was a huge storyline of that
100%.
game.
And that's kind of the whole culture of the Magic, right? Just making sure the other team feels that physicality. But yeah, game 2, they got absolutely destroyed. Shots were falling from the Pistons. Duncan Robinson had a good game. Cade had a good game. Jalen Duren doing what he does, catching lobs, setting great screens. Again, Jalen Duren, I would like to see more from him just because he is up for a Supermax contract, and I want to see him play like a superstar for the rest of the playoffs because you don't deserve Supermax money if you don't perform, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. And I think this was exactly what Detroit needed to do. Coming off of game 1, the storyline was this is a really good 8 seed in Orlando. They have Paolo, who's a rising star in this league, who played out of his mind in game 1. And a lot of people kind of switched their vote on who was going to win the series from the Detroit Pistons to the Orlando Magic. And the storyline around the Pistons were who's going to be the second scoring option, right? Tobias Harris stepped up for you in game 1. He does again in game 2, and you have 6 players scoring in double figures. Isaiah Stewart coming off the bench, stepping up and scoring for them. Duren, I think, like you said, needs to be better. If they really want to win this series, he's going to be a huge factor because he's such a, Detroit needs scoring options, and Jalen Duren is your second best scoring option. And it can't be Tobias Harris, but the Pistons did what they needed to do. They took care of business. Orlando, they're going back to Orlando. I think you're happy going back 1-1 against the first seed in the East.
Of course.
So,
yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Asar Thompson. His defense has been unbelievable so far, completely shutting down Franz in a way that is kind of not looking great for Wagner at the moment. But yeah, shout out to him. He's playing extremely well.
Definitely.
Yeah. And let's segue now to a quick time to panic segment. Okay, so now we're going to do a time to panic segment. I'm going to name the team. You're going to tell me, is it time for this team to panic? Okay, first team on the board, team we were just talking about, the Detroit Pistons.
I think the team to panic now is definitely the Magic, honestly. After tonight's game.
Being blown out like that?
100%, yeah. I mean, playing in Orlando is definitely tough, but I think the momentum is all in the Pistons' favor right now.
Yeah. I would say there's a little panic. Obviously, you gave up that game 1 that you should have taken. Very, very close game.
Yep.
Obviously, you made a big statement with game 2. But obviously, this is still a dangerous Orlando team. Obviously, they had a down game for game 2. But this is also a team that can come back and take more wins from you. And you don't want that as a Detroit Pistons team going to the next round, especially going up against eventually the dangerous Cavs. So I'd say there's a little danger, but I keep pushing it.
Yeah, I don't think it's time to panic for Detroit. I think that, you knew coming into this series Orlando was a better than usual 8 seed, and you lost a close game to them. You come back, you make a statement tonight. It's exactly what you needed to do. They took care of business, and I don't think it's time to panic yet for them. Let's go to a team a little more controversial. San Antonio Spurs.
So obviously we know the circumstances that happened in Game 2. Obviously we saw Wemby leave the floor during the second quarter for concussion protocol. Obviously very scary about that, but I mean we'll see what happens. There's a little alarm because of that, and we'll see his health going to Game 3 and 4, etc.
Yep.
But this is a player that will probably play, knowing Wemby's tenacity and how much he wants to play. So I'm gonna go. It's warmer. It's warmer than Detroit, but I'm still not all the way heated up yet.
Yep.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit there. I think that the Spurs should panic a tad for sure. I think that if Wemby misses Game 3, which is definitely in the cards here, right?
Yep.
Because typically with concussion, on average in the NBA, which we saw before, typical concussion protocol for players is 7 to 10 days. They typically give them that much rest. You're asking a lot from Wemby here coming back in this series alone. But I don't think we see him in Game 3. If Portland goes up 2-1 and kind of deflates that young, unexperienced core for the Spurs, I'm going to be very scared. I'm going to be scared because this Trailblazer team is no joke. They are not scrubs. You got an experienced veteran in Drew Holiday, Denny Avdija, All-NBA in my opinion this year, and then you have defenders like Tumani Kamara, Donovan Clingan, Scoot Henderson out of nowhere, out of the woodworks, is hooping masterfully.
Put up 31 in Game 2.
On great efficiency.
Super
you have
efficient.
Jeremy Grant. You have another incredible, one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA in Matisse Thybulle, who's getting a good amount of minutes as well. The Time Lord, Robert Williams, has been playing great for them too.
Definitely.
Getting rebounds, being in the paint, being active hands. This team is not bad. I know they're a 7 seed, and I know they're under the radar, and I know they're low market. But the Trailblazers are a good basketball team, and they can beat this young Spurs core without Wemby.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on your points. I think that Portland, they're on paper, you look at their numbers throughout the season, they haven't been in that elite conversation. But they're a team that could win games, right? You look at Drew Holiday for veteran experience. Denny's been playing great. I mean, all the things that you just said. I think there's a little bit of panic in San Antonio. On paper, though, you have the better team. You have the better roster. You guys should go into Game 3 feeling like you need to win that game because you don't want to be down 2-1 to a Portland team that has another home game left. But until this next game is taken by Portland, I'm not going to say it's full panic mode yet.
Agreed.
Let's go to the Denver Nuggets losing to the Timberwolves, tying the series 1-1. What do you think?
I think out of all the teams that we said, I think this is where I put the most panic on. Obviously, what the Timberwolves. I mean, this entire series it's been really close. Obviously, we knew what we were getting into when we were seeing the Timberwolves.
Yep.
Game 1, Game 2, both really close games, both really fun games. And what I've seen from this Nuggets team has been very alarming on the defensive side. I know Jaden McDaniels said post game about it.
Yeah,
and we'll get to that a little bit later.
We'll get to that. Yep.
But I have to agree on certain aspects that like this defense that they've been putting up has been pretty bad. I will say. Obviously, we know Jokic has never really been like a top tier defender in the league. Christian Braun hasn't really been stepping up defensive wise. Aaron Gordon hasn't been stepping up defense wise. Peyton Watson has been nowhere to be seen. And it's been really just alarming in that aspect. Obviously, we know we're gonna get a top offense in the NBA when it comes to the Denver Nuggets, but the defense has really been slacking, and we got to talk about that soon.
I completely agree with you. I think it's panic time in Denver. We've seen time and time again in the playoffs when a team goes against the team that plays defense, like the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have been top 8 in the NBA in defense every year Rudy Gobert has been on the Timberwolves. This is a true defensive-minded team. They play great defense in the paint, have one of the best paint defenders ever, and have some of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. It's extremely deflating when you play a team like this. That's why I said in our projections that I had this series going to around 7 games. But yeah, I think it's definitely panic time in Denver for sure.
Yep. Let's get through these other ones quickly. Let's go New York Knicks.
New York Knicks, I would say there's a bit of panic, but I wouldn't go to the extent of the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, you lost a very, very down to the wire game 2. Obviously, there was a lot of mistakes going into that fourth quarter. You guys were leading by 20 up in one point, and very, very sad loss. But this is also a Knicks team that can come back, get big wins. They're a team that's good on the road, good defense, good offense, top 10 in both. I'm not putting too much panic on it. Obviously, Atlanta is very good, but I'm still confident in the Knicks taking it this round.
If I'm the Knicks, I'm not panicking at all. I think the way the Knicks won that game was interesting for sure. Coming back extremely late. The Hawks have been chasing the Knicks' tail this entire series so far. Have been having trouble getting stops, and just haven't been able to keep up with them scoring the basketball. And the Knicks have been doing a great job stopping our best player, Jalen Johnson. That's credit to OG and Mikal for sure. But I'm definitely not panicking. I'd actually be surprised if the Hawks get another win in this series.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I don't think it's time to panic for the Knicks either. Rockets.
The whole stadium is burning down at this point. you are freaking out right now.
If you're a Rockets fan right now, I feel for you. I really do.
Yeah.
Where you have these expectations going into the season with Amen and Sengun and all their young pieces we were excited about, Jabari Smith, Tari Eason. It has not come together. I'm in full panic mode. But actually, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
You are in 100% panic mode. This is an utter disaster. You were a 2 seed last year, expected to do a lot of big things, and man, utter disaster going on. Albert Şengün, complete disappointment.
We're gonna get to that though. We're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to it.
Raptors.
It's over.
There was no ever panic.
There was no ever panic.
We knew what it was coming into the series.
It's over.
Last 2, Boston Celtics.
Light panic.
Very light. Very light panic.
Very light panic. It was interesting that they took a game.
And you call Kai. I'll give you that. You call that.
No,
you called
I
that.
called that.
Oh, you called that.
I called that.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
No, you said them going to 6.
Yeah.
6.
You
7
guys.
games.
I'm gonna put it on. I might even pull up the clip actually. These guys laughed at me hysterically when I said that the Sixers were gonna go. It was gonna go to a 6-game series. Right? They were so confident it was gonna be a sweep. Right? They were so sure Celtics were gonna take every game. So it's on y'all.
All right,
That's on y'all.
We'll see how this series goes. It
Doesn't
But
matter.
Like I said,
No, it doesn't matter how the series goes.
No.
You guys said it was going to be a sweep, and they lost a game.
well, you said it was going to go 6.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
You guys laughed at me.
Well, because I'm only saying light panic because what we saw from game 1 was an utter slaughter.
The biggest opening playoff win in Celtics history.
They lost by 30
2.
in game 1. Not panicked at all. Give me Celtics.
It's funny. You just said that you were a little bit panicked. But all right,
Slight
that's fine.
panic.
That's fine.
Like the most minute base.
Look, I'm going to be on this one.
panic.
I'm not panicked at all. The Boston Celtics have been in so many deep playoff runs. I'm not panicked at all. But
worried.
point being, y'all were wrong. Okay? Suns.
Huh?
Suns, are you
Who's
panicked?
that guy?
Who is that?
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
The season's over.
All right. Let's get into each of these matchups in depth now. First, let's go to Houston. What is wrong with the Houston Rockets after losing their second straight game to Los Angeles Lakers? They're now down 0-2 going to Houston. The Houston Rockets. What's going on with the Houston Rockets? What's wrong with them on the offensive end? Is Kevin Durant the answer?
mean, let's be honest. Kevin Durant's been the brightest spot on this team. It's since he's been back. He shot really efficient last night. But I think most of the blame does go in opportunity. You were supposed to be the star player on this team. I know that you brought in KD to alleviate a lot of the stress from you. But at the end of the day, you are still their best player, and you have not been playing like it. A lot of your shots that you were taking were in the paint and were utter misses. It was unbelievable watching the Celtics. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is not the opportunity. And to see this from him is really, really disappointing, especially for a team that we completely disregarded, saying that the Lakers were just going to be nothing. Lakers look like a top-tier team right now going out there. We're seeing vintage LeBron out there. Obviously, you got to give a lot of credit to what LeBron's been doing this playoff run. He's been balling out of his mind, passing the rock, facilitating, also getting his own shots up. People stepping up like Luke Kennard, playing out of his mind as well. But the Rockets really need to step up. It's about time for them to step up. So we'll see what happens in Game 3.
Yeah. Who I blame for this is just the young core in general. I've been really unimpressed with Jabari Smith Jr. I've been very unimpressed with Tari Eason, and I've been unimpressed with Reed Shepherd. And I've been unimpressed with Amen Thompson. Right? This is supposed to be their young core. This is supposed to be the next chapter of the Houston Rockets. And honestly, it was looking good last year. But just everything, the shot selection, the defense, everything has gone wrong for the Rockets. And I know they're a 5 seed, but if you were to watch the Rockets season and without knowing their seed number, you would think they were around an 8 or 9 seed, man. They do not play good basketball. However, this is not the Rockets at full strength. I was saying this to Liam before. They don't have their facilitator, one of the best point guards in the league, Fred VanVleet. They don't have Steven Adams, who was a huge piece to bring in. Huge. That would have been a matchup nightmare for DeAndre Ayton. Nightmare.
But we shouldn't let the Houston Rockets off the hook, though. You're going up against a Lakers team that are losing 2 of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah, look, this is what I think of the whole situation. I think, both of you correct in the statements you made before that this is the team to be panicked about the most, right? The Houston Rockets were expected to win this series. They have the more talented roster on paper, even without Kevin Durant in the lineup. Kevin Durant comes back, and what we witnessed was a coaching masterclass from JJ Redick. Just watching the game, you could see the Lakers' distinct game plan, and you could see how it was being executed, right? They doubled Kevin Durant from the start. Obviously, he got going, but he cooled off a lot in the second half. They were rotating quickly. They were moving a lot at the top of the key on the offensive end. Whereas the Houston Rockets, it was very unclear to me what their game plan was coming into this game. It seemed like they relied heavily on talent. And Ime Udoka is not regarded as a bad coach whatsoever. No. But some of the blame has to be put on him for the performance. Kevin Durant had 9 turnovers last night. Now, Kevin Durant, we can go on and on and talk about how great of a basketball player he is. His biggest flaw as a basketball player when comparing him to the greats is his lack of playmaking. And I want to take us back to a game against the Washington Wizards earlier this year where Houston was fighting for a playoff spot, and the Wizards decide to double Kevin Durant the whole game. He ends that game with 7 turnovers. They lose to the Washington Wizards when they were fighting for a playoff spot. This is a clear flaw that JJ Redick has studied and is exploiting of the Houston Rockets, is their lack of point guard. And the Houston Rockets, I don't know if I'm going to have them winning this series anymore.
That's completely fair. Completely fair.
And they're doing it. They're the best rebounding team in the NBA. They're out rebounding the Lakers. One of the slowest teams in the NBA. Both games have been at a slow pace. Lakers are also one of the slowest teams. It's a very interesting matchup, and they've just been outmatched at every step of the way.
It's insane. Reed Shepherd last night out of nowhere gets kind of benched. He only played 10 minutes last night. They tried to sort of run through Kevin Durant and it was not working.
Didn't
And
work at all.
A
No.
very mediocre Lakers team forced Durant, like you said, with 9 turnovers. Very concerning. I think the Lakers probably end up winning the series. You're right.
Yeah. And a lot of these role players, credit to JJ. I criticized him earlier this year about how I thought he wasn't building a proper culture in LA. It seems right now that everyone's bought in. When I look at the two sides, Houston and LA, Houston seems like they all don't like each other. I think Kendrick Perkins said it on First Take. It seems like they all can't stand each other, and they're just waiting to get mad at one another. The Los Angeles Lakers look like they are bought in to what JJ Redick has cooking over there, and this is a great sign for them, especially with Reeves and Luka out, possibly coming back in the second round.
Possibly.
Right? That'd be awesome.
Shout out to Marcus Smart last night with 6 stocks, 5 steals, 1 block.
Yeah.
Just
Unreal.
Awesome.
the ultimate competitor.
And bring the ball up for them. Like, this is not something that he's used to doing.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a turn to another big player in the Eastern Conference, the San Antonio Spurs. Wemby leaves in the second quarter with concussion, on a concussion protocol, like Griff said before. Typically 5 to 10 days, average 6 days, usually 2 to 4 games, and you can't play for those first 48 hours. They're not playing until tomorrow, so this is not going to affect, that 48 hours is not going to be in effect for Wembanyama. But if the Spurs don't have Wembanyama, are they in deep trouble?
100%. They don't win this series without Wembanyama.
They don't win this series
They
without
don't.
Wembanyama.
They do not. I do not trust De'Aaron Fox as a number 1 option against this Blazers defensive team. I do not. Everyone else around De'Aaron Fox is under the age of 23 years old besides Harrison Barnes and Luke Cornett. They are a very young team. Devin Vassell, never been to the playoffs. Stephon Castle, never been to the playoffs. Dylan Harper, obviously never been to the playoffs. All their key young pieces have no playoff experience. And I don't care what people say. Playoff experience matters.
But we're talking about the Portland Trailblazers here. They don't have that much playoff experience either.
I
Obviously, they
understand.
have a few veterans like Drew Holiday, but that
Jeremy
doesn't-
Grant?
Jeremy Grant, barely, but that doesn't move me a ton.
Either way, the Spurs are younger.
They are, but I mean,
Denny's been in the league for 5 or 6 years, man.
yeah, but
He's their best player.
He's barely touched playoff experience.
I understand that. But I trust this Blazers team more than the Spurs without Wemby.
I don't know. I disagree with that.
So let me ask you something. If the Spurs didn't have Wemby this season, what seed would they be? Would they be a playoff or play-in team?
I think they'd lead more toward play-in.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree.
The Blazers were a 7 seed, so you're putting them basically in around the same category.
I think I would put them around the same category.
So
But-
what's wrong with me saying the Blazers win this series without Wemby?
I mean, I don't think it's clear off rip. I think it's closer than you think. Obviously, Scoot Henderson had a huge game last night, and he was probably the biggest factor in the fact that they won.
He 100%, and he stepped up because Denny didn't have the best game.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I feel like that we rarely see big games coming out of Scoot Henderson. Let's be honest.
100%.
And stuff like that, I feel like it's just an anomaly. No offense to Scoot Henderson whatsoever. I think he played phenomenally. He shot the ball out of his mind. But we never regard Scoot Henderson as a shooter. Obviously, he's now on the radar. And coming back to Game 3, I think that the Spurs make the right adjustments to prevent those kind of stuff. Obviously, Danny Alvia had a great game in Game 1. But still, again, these adjustments need to be made by the Spurs. And I feel like they can make those adjustments, especially coming from a deep team like this. So
Also-
I wouldn't go as far as to say they're completely out of this, man.
Listen, the Blazers have a lot of size too.
They do have
a
a lot
lot
of
more
size.
size.
This
All
is-
the Spurs would have with Luke Cornett. They have Klingon. They have Tumani Kamara. They have Robert Williams. They have a lot of size in that team as well.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. But still,
This is what I'm going to say. I think the Spurs, I'm not going to go as far as to say they're in deep trouble, but they are in trouble. It is a much more well-rounded series without Wemby in the picture, right?
Without
You
a
can
doubt.
easily say if you have Wembanyama down the stretch of that game, the Spurs win that game. Obviously, a lot of great players played well for Portland. This is where I think the essence of the question comes in. It's really about are we underestimating the Portland Trailblazers? I think a lot of people feel as if this series is a wash. And Portland has some players on their team that are ascending, that have been around for a little bit and just not talked about. Jeremy Grant, I think, is a guy who in this league doesn't get talked about enough. He's a guy who can go get a bucket.
Yeah, extremely offensively gifted.
Yeah, extremely offensively gifted, yeah.
For sure.
Who else am I thinking of?
You have players like, obviously,
Shaden
Sharp,
Tamani Kamara shooting the three, fantastic this year. Donovan Clingan, one of the best rebounders as a young star.
The best offensive rebounder in the NBA this season.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't know
averaged
that.
the most.
I think that the Portland Trailblazers, I still don't think they could beat the Spurs. I think it might be a 7-game series without Wemby, but it's a team that we don't talk about the talent that they have enough. And yeah, now the Spurs defensively, they go from a top 3 defense to a below average defense when Wemby is not playing. Does that play a factor into this conversation?
Absolutely. I mean, we can all recognize, obviously, he just won unanimous MVP. I'm not unanimous MVP. Unanimous DPOY first
That's
time
next
in
year. That's next year.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Well, first unanimous DPOY in NBA history.
Yep.
Obviously, we have to praise him for his phenomenal season. But like I said, like he is the DPOY. He brings the defense for the Spurs team.
He's not just the best defensive player. He's the best defensive team. That's how good this guy is on defense.
Of course.
He affects everyone.
And he affects the game in so many ways, and he obviously affects this team becoming phenomenal to just about average.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a big concern.
All right, let's get into... Oh, you want... Yep. All right. Let's get into Jaden McDaniels' comments. Jaden McDaniels has some harsh words for the Denver Nuggets, calling their defense or calling them all bad defenders.
What some of the keys offensively as to really get in a rhythm? Go out for Jokic, Jamal, all the bad defenders, Tim Hardaway, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, the whole team. Like, just go at them.
They're all bad defenders.
Yeah, they're all bad defenders.
Do you think Jaden McDaniels was justified in his comments about the Nuggets defense? And
Listen, I can start with this
Okay,
one.
yeah.
So, as we know, through the media, we sort of see with Jaden McDaniels the kind of personality he has. He's strictly business. That's the kind of guy he is. He's out there to hoop. He's not really the biggest media target whatsoever. He's just a dog.
For sure.
absolute dog.
And dogs, when they speak, they don't necessarily think about how other people interpret the message. So when he made that comment, I don't think he's taking a dig at anyone personally. I think he's just being realistic here. The Denver Nuggets have not been a good defensive team for a very long time now. And I think his comments are completely fair. And yes, I think when you're a really, really good defensive team like the Timberwolves, and you're one of the best perimeter and overall defenders in the NBA, in Jaden McDaniels, you can call other people bad defenders if they are. I think that's completely fair. The Minnesota Timberwolves are the better defensive team. They're more athletically gifted, and they're in a better position for a playoff matchup because they play defense.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, man. Like, Jay McDaniels, he's not the type of person to be outstretched on the media, not a person to call out players, not like a villain-esque person like we would say like Dylan Brooks would call out a person or call out a team. He's like you said, strictly business. So when he calls out the Denver Nuggets and their defense, I think he's speaking from an actual factual standpoint. We all agree that the Denver's defense is pretty terrible. Might be the worst defense in the NBA, so to speak. And he's explaining it right. I mean, we all saw the game. That defense is bad. Straight front to back, a bad defense. And I think he's putting it how it is. And I'm completely fine with whatever he said post game.
Yeah, and let's take the fact that he's a very straight up guy out of it, and let's just look at the stats. The Denver Nuggets have not been considered an elite defense in the NBA in over 7 seasons, right? Since 2018, 2019. In all those seasons, they've been below top 10 except once. Their championship year, they were cutting it just above average at 15th. This year, they're 21st. Last year, they're 21st. The year before that, they were 8th, which was the best defense we've seen from them in a very long time. This is just not a defensive team. They haven't been. They probably likely will never be. That's not what they built their personality on. I think that he was completely justified in his comments. Now, obviously, it comes off as a little pretentious and it's taking a dig, which, you know, he was doing that, you know, trying to get under their skin. It's a playoff series. But the Denver Nuggets have not made it their identity to be a good defensive team. Their question around them is, are you going to stop their two-man game? The best two-man game in all of basketball. Are you going to stop them on the offensive end? Are you going to limit their shots? Are you going to double Jokic? Are you going to not double Jokic and stay one-on-one? Those are the questions surrounding them. So I think he was right to point it out. I don't think this brings up anything new about the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
I think it's the same old combo.
But I also got to admit, like, this Timberwolves defense has just been playing phenomenal. Straight back and forth. We agree they're a top 10 defensive team in the NBA, and the perimeter defense has been showing. Jamal Murray shooting 38% from the field, 27% from three. Like, this is clear stuff. This is clear that they are on top of them front to back. Obviously, Jokic is going to get what he gets, but still, like,
but even
it's hard
like,
to say.
I think one thing that's 100% true, but we got to give credit to the Minnesota offense, right? You have guys stepping up for them. Dante DiVincenzo had a great game too. I know Ant-Man got a lot of the credit for that, but Dante finished with, I think,
16 points, 4 for 7 from the 3-point line, 6 of 9 total.
100%, a very efficient night. Ant wasn't that efficient last night, right?
No.
And
10 for 25.
part of the reason, you know, I didn't actually get to this before, but part of the reason why Denver, you know, could be a little panicked is because you have all these guys stepping up, and Ant has yet to have a really Ant-Man playoff game, right? So he didn't play too well in that game too. It was a close game. If he plays well, you know, then blow him out the water. But there's Bone Highlands has stepped up for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
So I say one thing.
Yeah.
The guy that everyone continues to keep overlooking during this Minnesota Timberwolves tenure is Julius Randle. He had an incredible game too. 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists on 50% from the field. This guy has balled out in the postseason the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
It's time to give the man credit.
You're right.
I wish he was doing that with the Knicks. But let me just add on to this question real quick. Do you think the Denver Nuggets can make a deep playoff run without an elite defense?
You see,
I don't think so.
I really don't. I don't
don't.
think so. Because
Because
you got it. Just say it.
you're going up against a team like you still have to await the Oklahoma City Thunder, the number 1 defense in the NBA. They are shutting teams down, and if no dig at the Timberwolves, but Oklahoma City is just another dog in terms of defense. Front to back, this team's loaded, and when it comes to those big defensive teams, I'll put the Spurs in there too. I'm not taking the Spurs over that. I know we're only 2 games in, but I would be scared if I were the Nuggets. And each series that you guys are going to go up against, it's going to be harder and harder and harder from here.
It's insane. You look at teams like the Spurs, the Timberwolves, and the Thunder, and they don't really have that many liabilities on the defensive side of the ball.
Nope.
And you look at the Nuggets, and they're
Holes
everywhere. Everywhere. Every position.
I'm going to have to disagree with y'all on this. Okay. I understand the Denver Nuggets have a poor defense. But like we stated before, this is nothing new about the Denver Nuggets. Okay, when they won their championship, they were 15th in defense, right? This year, they are 21st in defense, but they're first on the offensive side, higher than they've ever been, okay?
Best offensive rating of all time.
Best offensive rating of all time. The Denver Nuggets are not built around defense. This is a team that's been a formidable opponent in the West for the past 7 years now. They have never been about defense. I think they can absolutely make a deep playoff run without having an elite defense. They have the best offense they ever had. And even in a series against the Spurs, I understand the Spurs are top 3 defense in the NBA right now. we still know it's going to be a tight series, and I'm going Denver in that series because of the experience. So, I don't think the defense is going to hold them back from a deep playoff run. I think their matchups, right? They have Spurs in the next round. They have OKC in the Western Conference Finals, if everything goes as planned. So yeah, that's how I see it.
The things I would do for a Wemby Joker playoff series.
Hey. Don't count it out.
We need it, man. I need Portland to lose this. I like Portland, but I need them to lose this, man.
Yeah, we want the matchups that we want.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on,
Y'all had a good run. Y'all had a good run.
But hey, this is the playoffs. You gotta enjoy
Anything
everything
can happen.
how it
Yeah.
is. So.
Wait, where's Portland again?
All right, let's get into the next question. Okay, very interesting question. I think it's going to be a very hot question, this one. Okay. Obviously, the 76ers tied up the series against the Boston Celtics 111-97 as the series is headed to Philadelphia for Game 3. VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey combined for 59 points in Game 2. VJ went for 30. Tyrese went for 29. This is an emerging backcourt in the NBA, but the question is this a top 7 backcourt in the NBA? See what I did there?
Absolutely.
Top 7.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to name the
100%.
backcourt. I'm going to name the backcourt. You tell me if Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe are better. Sound good?
And when we do this, I just want to say, let's think about the potential as well.
Hold on. Whoa. We're talking about right now.
Okay, right now.
Because
Right now, yeah,
potential
sure.
could be anything.
Okay, right now.
All right.
Right now.
VJ could be the GOAT if we're talking about potential. We're talking about right now.
All right, let's do it.
You ready?
Let's go.
Donovan Mitchell, James Harden.
Yes,
Clears.
they were better.
Okay. I'm going to put a check mark next to them. Luka Reeves.
Yep, better.
Clears.
Shea J-Dub.
Yes.
So we're at 3.
Yep.
Let's go Brunson Hart.
Give me Brunson Hart.
Absolutely not. That is not unanimous whatsoever.
Come on, dude. The more experienced team. The more experienced duo.
So I think
I would rather
Championship duo.
I'm taking Maxey and Edgecombe.
Two-time championship duo.
What?
College championship, dog.
Get out of
Villanova.
here.
Two-time champion.
Get out
Duo.
of here. What are we talking about
What are
right
you talking
now?
about?
It's
We're
the
talking
NBA.
Who can? And they're still playing great.
Oh my goodness.
Eastern Conference Finals.
I don't care.
Duo.
Edgecombe's the first rookie to drop 30 and 10 in a playoff game since Tim Duncan.
Oh my God, very impressive. Doesn't move me.
Yeah, and Josh Hart moves you.
More than VJ.
Really?
Right now? Yeah. What
Really?
Josh Hart moves you more than VJ Edgecombe.
Oh, you're going to regret that down the line, buddy.
Dude, what we
Oh, you are.
what we know we get from Josh Hart, let's not sleep on it. Come on. Well, let's not sleep on it.
I would never.
You never. Come on.
He got 10 rebounds in the last game. I think he was our
Valuable.
top rebounder.
He
last
was your
game.
top rebounder.
Who cares?
Values.
VJ Edgecombe
Value.
is a reincarnation of Anthony Edwards and Drew Holiday.
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. VJ got 10 rebounds too?
Huh? Yes.
He got 10, yeah. I'm going to be honest. Give me Hart Brunson. Give me Hart Brunson. Keep it pushing.
Let's keep
pushing.
pushing.
Keep pushing.
Is that 4 or 5?
That is 4. LaMelo and Khan.
Give me Tyrese. Give me that
agree.
Edgecombe. Don't
wait.
argue this.
Hell no. Give me Tyrese and VJ
Boom.
all
3.
day.
All right, boom.
2, 1.
Doesn't
Doesn't move me.
Keep it pushing. Next.
Okay, another interesting one. Murray Brown. Christian Brown.
Give me Maxey and Edgecombe.
See, based on what?
Okay. There's a lot of people. Listen, there's a lot of people who put Maxey over Jamal Murray currently. There's a lot of people.
Where do you put him? Jamal Murray or Tyrese Maxey?
I'm taking Jamal Murray.
Okay.
I'm taking Jamal Murray.
Oh,
right.
okay, but
Let's-
Christian Brown, VJ Edgecombe.
Obviously, I'm taking VJ. I think
This is why it's a conversation.
this is why it's a conversation. It's close, but I'm still taking the experience of Jamal Murray and Christian Brown.
That is crazy.
The champions. The
Yeah,
champions.
The champions. Yeah.
The ones that actually went to the finals.
I understand that. I'm taking Maxey and Edgecombe any day of the week over those guys. Any day of the week.
I think I'm gonna lean. I think I'm gonna go Maxey Edgecombe. Okay. Look. If we're talking about accomplishments, if we're talking about greater, sure, I'll give it to those two. But talent-wise, I think that if you were to put it in a cup, put each cup side by side, I think the Maxey Edgecombe cup is more full. Backcourts, just backcourts. I'm gonna take that. So we still have four. LaMelo and Khan, Murray and Braun didn't cut it. Booker and Green.
Give me Maxey and Edgecombe.
Give me Maxey and Edgecombe.
Give me Maxey. Yeah. All right. Consensus. I agree.
Yeah, not moved by Jalen Green. Next.
Cade and Asar.
Give me Maxey and Edgecombe.
Again, based on what?
Cade.
Based on how they play.
Cade.
Yeah, I understand that.
Cade led the Detroit Pistons, to the first seed.
Asar is a top 3 defender in the NBA.
What?
I don't know about that. Top 3.
Dude, he's the best defender on Detroit by far.
But top 3, man.
He was a finalist for DPOY. You guys realize that, right?
Amen was.
Huh?
Amen was not Asar.
It was Asar. I'm pretty sure.
No, it was Amen. Pretty sure it was Amen.
I didn't know either of them were in the top 3.
I think it was Amen.
It was definitely. It wouldn't have been Asar. It has to be a man. But
It was Asar.
It was.
It was.
At third for DPOI.
At third for DPOY. So let's stop this. Oh, was he the top defender? It was freaking Asar Thompson, top 3 defender in the NBA.
All right.
Over VJ? Stop it.
Who's a better player, VJ or Asar Thompson?
When it comes to offense?
No.
Who's a better player?
No. When it comes to a player.
Player? I'll give you VJ, but it's by a hair. It's by a hair.
Are you kidding me?
Come on.
Are you kidding me?
Top
What about the offense, bro?
Doesn't
Bottom.
matter.
One of the bottom offensive players in the NBA. How about that?
You realize at VJ Edgecombe at 20 years old is better than what Anthony Edwards was at 20 years old.
I realize that.
He is unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He is 20.
I agree. And I give full credit to VJ for
No
that.
way Asar is
He's
even
not even
close
in
to
the same
VJ.
stratosphere. VJ Edgecombe's going to be a 7-time All-Star.
Look.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Here's the thing. I'm going Cade and Asar, not because of Asar, because of Cade. VJ, I think, clears Asar, but Cade clears Maxey. Maxey couldn't do what Cade done. That's what I think. Defensively and offensively, straight.
You're also talking about a backcourt that actually plays off each other. Like, what do Cade and Asar like? Do they complement each other's games like Edgecombe and Maxey? They don't.
I mean, Cade complements anybody's game. Let's keep it.
Yeah, Cade can. But I mean, Cade is the system over there. But hold on, I'm gonna give that to Cade and Asar. Let's go another one, right? I think this one's a sweet. Brown, White,
Clears.
Yeah.
clears.
Brown, White. Come on.
Last one. Dante Edwards. Clears. Let's be honest. Dante Edwards clears, bro. It clears, bro. Come on, bro. What are we talking about?
All right, if we're gonna
Second best shooting guard in the NBA in Anthony Edwards. Dante DiVincenzo and VJ Edgecombe are very close to each other right now.
What?
How?
What do you mean how?
You think?
How are they not?
You think VJ
Name
Edgecombe?
something that VJ is extremely better at than Dante, or something that Dante.
He's a better slasher.
For sure.
Sure.
It's not even close.
Dante's a better shooter.
He's a world's better defender.
Worlds.
And the shooting argument doesn't help
Worlds.
you. Worlds. He was
So
drafted
you guys are going.
because of his
Maxey.
defense.
You guys are going Maxey and VJ.
Yes.
Let me think about this. God damn it.
Yes.
I'm going with Griffin on this one.
Thank you.
Give me Tyrese
What are we
VJ.
talking about? comparing VJ to Dante.
I think a lot of it leans.
Every part of VJ's game is better besides the shooting, and you can't put that against VJ because he's 20. His shot will develop over time for sure. Look at what.
But come
you
on,
keep
bro.
saying develop. We're talking about right now.
Okay,
We're talking right now,
yeah, but
man.
you can't talk about shooting because that will progress. You know what I'm saying?
But
Of course it'll progress.
You can't talk about it this season, right?
Fine,
Dante,
this season,
who's been more valuable, Dante or VJ to their team this season?
Come on.
VJ.
Dante, bro.
What?
Dante's a crucial part of what that Minnesota team does.
Do you know how many games Joel Embiid, Paul George have missed for the Sixers this season, and the Sixers still made the playoffs?
They made the play-in.
Well, they're in the playoffs.
They made the playoffs. Edgecombe played great in that play-in game.
Okay, fine. We give it to Maxey and VJ. So that's 1, 2, 3,
Not bad.
4, 5, 6. So they are a top 7 backcourt in the NBA.
Boom!
Oh wow, they're top 7 backcourt in the.
Oh wait, no.
How about
Wait,
top?
wait. Okay.
How about top 5? Are they a top 5?
There's an argument.
No,
It moves me.
doesn't.
Depends
move
on
me.
how you feel about Caden Nassar
And Brunson and Hart.
and Brunson.
The Brunson
Hart.
Hart one, I'm sorry, is crazy. That
you're-
is crazy.
you're-
Because Maxey's close to Brunson. Whether you...
It's close. And I think both.
and VJ clears Hart. Clears...
But
VJ
Brunson, bro.
is exactly-
But Brunson, bro.
I get it. I get it. He's amazing.
All right, let's keep pushing.
All right. Let's get into our final question. Okay. The New York Knicks dropped a heartbreaker to the Atlanta Hawks. 107-106. Series tied 1-1. Series tied 1-1 heading back to Atlanta. A lot of crazy things happened along this game. Knicks led by as much as 14 at one point. Hawks stormed all the way back in the fourth quarter to take the lead in the last minute. CJ McCollum had an absolute game of his lifetime, putting on a show at MSG. Did the Hawks win this game or did the Knicks lose this game? Griff, I want to start with you.
Yeah, let's go with Griff.
5 minutes and 32 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Down 8. A shooting star, flies over MSG. And CJ McCollum turns into the villain of New York City. Listen, the Hawks deserve the credit for this win. Because in the final minutes of an absolute nail-biter, our players performed. Our defense showed up. Yes, the Knicks did not play well in the end of that game. But you have to give the Hawks some credit here. And you have to give the credit to CJ McCollum and Jonathan Kuminga. They both played great. And what CJ did to Brunson at the end of that game was completely embarrassing. Scoring on him 3 times in the last 5 minutes of that game. Brunson doesn't have the ability to slide his feet on defense. It's been like this for years now. When your 2 best players can't play defense, yeah, you lose games like this. It's going to happen. And, yeah.
I'm going to go with the Knicks lost this game. Obviously, obviously we saw the Knicks were leading 20 throughout this game at one point. At a certain point, we thought it was a clear lock. I mean, at least in my standpoint, that the Knicks were going to completely win this game. That last 5 minutes of the fourth was a complete and utter collapse of the New York Knicks. You guys were out rebounding the crap out of them the entire game, being aggressive. And all of a sudden, the last 5 minutes of this game, you guys completely pushed off the gas. And that is what happens when you play this Atlanta team. Especially, CJ McCollum had a phenomenal night. We'll never discredit that. But the Knicks really, really sold at the end. Cat nowhere to be found. Brunson being exploited on the defensive end. Mikal Bridges.
Getting a lot of flack from New York right now. Knicks fans are fed up.
And to those Knicks fans who are fed up, I understand. Mikal Bridges has been pretty awful this series. Has been pretty bad.
He went 3 for 10 from the field in game 2.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to say about it. I agree with you, Kai. I think that the Knicks lost this series. I mean, the Knicks lost this game, not the series, this game, because of the stretch in that fourth quarter, right? And I think a lot of people are putting the blame on Mike Brown or Brunson's defense, and I don't think that's fair. I think you know what you're getting out of Jalen Brunson. You're getting one of the best offensive players in the NBA. You're getting a guy who could score the ball at a super high level. No one ever said that Brunson was a good defender. We all know that he's a liability on defense. And like how you pointed out before, this is a 2-time NCAA champion. I believe he started on both those teams. He has been in the playoffs almost every single, if I'm not mistaken, every single year of his career so far. He's shown out in the playoffs. He's been the reason why the Knicks have had success. So I'm not putting this on Brunson's defense. I'm putting this on the lack of offense that the Knicks had going down the stretch of the game. We couldn't buy a bucket. We couldn't, the most expensive team in all NBA, we couldn't buy a bucket for our lives. We couldn't go get a bucket. And guess who was the only one getting us buckets down the stretch? It was Jalen Brunson, right? I understand if you have a lead, you consider benching maybe your best offensive player because he's not that great on defense. But Jalen Brunson had the best game for the New York Knicks, even with his defensive flaws. We knew this defense was going to be a problem coming into the series. We always know that. It's how are you going to mask it? And the Knicks have tried masking it this season with the double big lineup, which has worked for the most part. But I think I would actually like to see that more. Mitchell Robinson didn't play himself a bad game. But the Knicks lost this game. I don't think it's panic mode for them because of the fashion that we lost. We went on a stretch and we weren't able to score. Atlanta's an offensive team. We held them to, 107, which is low for them, low for NBA standards. So I'm comfortable with that. We didn't score enough. And that has to change. And that's on Mikal, that's on Cat, that's on the players outside of Brunson to score the basketball.
I just think it's a little delusional how you put none of this on Brunson. This guy didn't even have that great a game. He went 10 for 26 from the field. He had 3 turnovers as well. And the Hawks completely exploited him in the last few minutes of the game.
Yeah, a few things I'm going to say is, first of all, the turnovers, you got to exclude that. He has some of the highest usage rating in the NBA, so he's going to get those 3 turnovers. And where is this criticism for other guys who lack on the defensive end? Jokic, Luka. Why Jalen Brunson, when he is such an offensive force, when he was the best player on the floor for the Knicks last night? Why is the loss because of his defense, which is not something new? But when Luka or Jokic loses, it's not on their defense and how they can be better on the defensive end. We know what we're getting out of Brunson. He wasn't the most efficient last night. We had a low-scoring night. That's what's going to happen when Brunson isn't as efficient. But it is not because of the Knicks' defense. We're not building our run on Jalen Brunson's defense. That's why we have Mikal and OG and Mitchell and Josh Hart to hide those defensive flaws.
Those examples of Luka and what was it? Jokic?
Yeah.
Jokic is the greatest player on the planet, and Luka does get a lot of hate for his defense as well. So that's just not true.
You especially.
Of course, and that's the standard that I'm holding him to. I'm holding, I always do that. But Luka's a terrific player. You can't take away from Brunson because of that. The same way you don't take away from Luka.
Listen, I really don't like the way Brunson's playing in this series. He's also foul baiting a ton as well.
But we know this.
That is just so unfair, man. That is so unfair to say, man. So why do you bring this up about Brunson, bro? That's my thing.
They're playing my team in the playoffs.
Okay.
Fair enough. That's fair. But to say you don't like the way he's playing, I don't like the way CJ is playing. I don't like the way.
Well, then you're blind.
You can say the same. All right.
That'll do it.
Let's wrap it up. Like, comment, subscribe. Lot of great content is coming out, and I think that's really all, right?
Yeah, keep up, man.
Yeah, keep up. Appreciate all the support. You got something to say?
Let's go Hawks.
Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Nets.
Wait, who are you?
Let's go Nets in the lottery.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Hey, Adrian Abonza. Coming home.
Yeah, man.
Coming home.
Good luck.
What if it's Darren Peterson? Are you going to be upset?
Hey, he's coming home.
Would you be satisfied with Darius Acuff?
I would be satisfied with Darius Acuff.
Would you be satisfied with Cam Boozer?
No comment.
All right, and
See you
that's
next
going to do
time.
it for this episode of Run the Tape. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, let's run the tape.
Run the tape.
All right, I think that was a good episode.
I think so too. Random response.
Way more prepared.
Way more prepared and a lot better flow.
Yeah.
I love it.